While the coronavirus quarantine has pushed pause on many of us going out and about, it hasn't stopped singles from working on themselves and their love lives. Local professional matchmaker Stephanie Clover from It's Just Lunch is joining us now to give her top dating tips during the quarantine. Stephanie, how you been?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I need to get groomed up. I need to get, back on point in regards to getting out there in the dating scene. And, what we're dealing with right now in terms of COVID-19 and the coronavirus and the quarantine, it's really, I think it's testing us all in terms of our patience. And at the same time, with individuals like me that are single with no kids and want to get out there and about and meet new people, it's really been challenging. So with that, I want to talk to a professional like yourself that can kind of help me navigate and maneuver through all of these different obstacles. And I want to start with the basic of, when you look at us dealing with COVID-19 and kind of pressing the pause button, if you will, on going out and about with our daily lives, should we be pressing pause on our love lives in terms of getting out there and trying to date people virtually?
Yeah, it kind of depends on where you're at and how much you know about yourself and how self-reflective you are and really how much dating you did before this all went down. I think as a matchmaker, I always am telling people, if your goal is to be in a relationship, you should be going towards that mission like you would any other business plan of yours. So whether that is practicing self-care and a dating detox, seeing a relationship coach, or doing Zoom dating, still go towards meeting the right person. Don't be hunkered down at home, sitting around, not going towards that goal of having that happily ever after scenario.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when we think about the lives that we live, right? And especially with the people that are single out there, and you're kind of navigating through this new normal right now, right? And you're trying to get through it. And I think a lot of us don't want to be lonely. You want to be active. You want to be in a situation where you can actively go out there and try to meet people. But I think a lot of us are a little bit apprehensive about the times right now. You get what I'm saying?
Totally. And, an extrovert like yourself or, like me, this is probably even more intense because we aren't interacting with people on a daily basis through work and office, just going about our daily routines, getting coffee, whatever it is. So there's less opportunity to meet someone face to face. And even introverts, it's like, okay, how do I navigate not meeting anyone? Even I think people who aren't single, not seeing other human beings has caused this weird rift in their life. So yeah, it's interesting, but definitely need to be proactive about getting out there.
Stephanie, you've been so successful with It's Just Lunch for so many years, and I've known you for many years when you first started. In your opinion, give me some tips on how we can make the most of our time during this lockdown.
Yes. So 13 years of telling people about dating. I do find myself to be an expert. So I will tell you in what I've done and what I have seen people find success in is the first thing is practice some self-care. We've been using the analogy lately of this being like a cocoon, and really we're all, in the middle of winter ending, we're at home, and we have the opportunity to do one of two things. So we can either decide not to grow and not to emerge and just to be our same old and come out of this. And, May hits, if that's what we decide, if the governor decides to have us reemerge as, then we have to figure out, have we grown or have we been kind of depressed and lonely and made it that way? Or have we done the reverse? Are we going to emerge a butterfly, right? Are we going to come out and have so many different tools and tips and, whether it be a business or being now in a relationship when we come out, what are the options? So first thing, self-care, take care of yourself. I know you and I were chatting earlier, if you haven't been in the gym, figure it out, go running, stay active, get that serotonin and all those great, energy releasers out and take really good care of yourself. Whether it be organized, and single guys, which I'm guessing a lot of your listeners, right? Figure out your place you're living. Like, have your home on point. Be ready for in the dating world. You have someone over, things are organized and clean, and you have a clean house, and people come over and they're like, wow, it doesn't have to be a mansion, but have your apartment even, or your condo, or your home you live in, be on point to be able to have a relationship where the woman is like, wow, you take great care of yourself. Same with you women, like have everything, emerge with a better environment to date in. Secondly, do a dating detox. If you're one of those people who've gone on a lot of dates before this, take a break, reassess your goals. Who do you want to be with? Create your list of what does that ideal match look like. Don't like narrow it down so much that you have, you've created this box to put someone in, but figure out what it is. I don't know, for single people if they've done that, but just reassessing what you've done. And then thirdly, do a Zoom date. It's fun. Like you and I, we could be sitting in person right now and we're going to have that same interaction. With internet now, it's what I'm saying, you're seeing right away. There's no lag. You can create chemistry over Zoom easily.
I need to borrow a bottle of wine from you. So you'll have to help me out that way.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Listen, it's okay to have a drink or a coffee and be in your kitchen, having a little bit of, vibe going on. Like sit at a bar stool, pour yourself a beer, loosen up a little bit and have a great drink or coffee. If you're not a drinker, it's okay. But put yourself in that coffee shop or bar atmosphere so it feels more natural.
Yeah, those are great tips. And I'm so happy to be talking to you now about it because, I think from the perspective of being a single guy and being, having that alone time or gal out there, I think that one of the cool things about diving into the dating game right now and, what you got provided is Just Lunch is the fact that one of the things that we have to be concerned about is our mental health. And you talked about self-care and taking care of yourself. And to me, we all need somebody and we all want to lean on somebody at certain times. Nobody wants to be alone during all of this.
True. Totally true. And I really think in our business, we're already seeing a huge influx of people calling us and asking us for help, because I do think if anything, this has forced people to say they're looking in their quarantine and saying, who would I want to be quarantined with in the future? What does that person look like? Who do I want to come home to every day? And I think they're realizing more than ever, this is lonely by ourselves. We want to share this with somebody.
Do you think that there's much of a difference for individuals that are single with no kids as opposed to maybe somebody that's divorced with kids? Do you think there's a little bit of a difference?
Through what's going on right now?
In terms of like the connecting.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think just Zoom dating and finding someone at home. I mean, I have 3 kids and they're downstairs and I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but if I was Zoom dating, that would be a challenge. But I think you could all figure that out. I mean, that means your Zoom dates might be 9 o'clock at night when everyone's in bed. Single people, I think, that loneliness. Someone that is married and has 3 kids and is at home is thinking, oh my gosh, I'd like to have that loneliness. That lonely person is saying, I would do anything for 3 kids and a husband to drive me crazy. I think both, this grass is always greener, but I think end of day, the chaos, the beautiful chaos is better than loneliness. So I do think adjust your times, find that time either, early in the morning or later at night to take that time by yourself to get to know someone.
Props to your kids.
The thing, kids when they're older, especially, what they want most in life is to see their mom and dads happy. So I think, going on those dates is key for sure.
Yeah, props to your kids because they're doing a phenomenal job. I don't hear anything right now. So
we have a movie on, so we're good.
All right, last but not least, everybody wants to be happy, like you just mentioned. Everybody wants a companion. So once the date is over, where do you take it from there?
As far as Zoom dating, and I always recommend either, when this is all over, you're at a restaurant or you're over Zoom, always during that date, if you're feeling chemistry, bring up the second date. Don't wait till the date's over to be texting and awkwardly setting up another date. Right now I would say, hey, this has been fun. Want to do this again Friday night. Pick 2 or 3 days in advance to set it up again, but also exchange phone numbers, because I think texting has become such a new way of communicating through when you first start dating. So don't be afraid to exchange those numbers, text, but then also set up that face-to-face within 3 or 4 days.
Stephanie Kluber from It's Just Lunch. Pleasure to talk to you today. We will be talking to you soon.
So thank you so much, Henry. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for the tips. We appreciate it.
Of course.